Hi and welcome everyone to this deck review. It's actually the first week of the game, and this is a zoo deck, and it's going pretty well. It has a 62% win rate for the moment. I think a little bit more because I don't know the exact rates because of the cross device tracking. So I just wanted to share with you because I think it's working pretty well. So being an ex-Hearthstone player, I can say that Snap is quite a well done game, and some of of course, the uh, archetypes of the decks are kind of the same, and I always kind of played Zoo Warlock in Hearthstone, and that's why I wanted to see if a viable good performing zoo deck is available here, and this one is the one that I've tried a little bit. So I'll just be sharing the cards one by one, and then feel free to drop the comments and your feedback regarding it. So first, Ant-Man. Of course, if you have three other cards, uh, add 3 power to the zone. Uh, I try not to play it as the first play, and just to see where do I want, to combine it, because sometimes, the 3 extra that you get from him, uh, we're gonna see through all the cards, but sometimes kind of Blade gets a little bit more value because all the one mana card, 1 power cards are buffed by Ka-Zar, so sometimes no Blade has more value as a last slot rather than Ant-Man. But yeah, sometimes you play him first, and sometimes you kind of just save it and kind of calculate which zone you want to get with Ant-Man. Second one, Elektra, one of the favorites, really can disrupt a lot of things. I tried to play her on turn 4 or maybe even turn 5 because she can do a lot of damage and remove a quite buffed card, let's say a Star-Lord or a Raccoon or something similar for the opponent. Yeah, she can do a lot of damage in that perspective. And then we have Korg, and Korg basically is there just to mess up the draw because he shuffles a rock into your opponent's deck, and then if he draws the rock, of course, it's kind of a dead draw for the opponent, and he's there just to mess up the situation. Like in our case, when a zone is like with rocks, it can mess up the draw for us. Nightcrawler, one of the favorite cards here in the deck. Uh, it's really one of my favorites. I'm gonna put this version that I leveled. Uh, you can play him as a turn 1 because the move option from him is really great. But what I tried to do with it, I tried to save it with Angela and then play Nightcrawler and then move it so Nightcrawler, so Angela gets an additional buff. Rocket Raccoon is really a powerful card because it gets 2 power at start. I try not to play it on turn 1, but yeah, try to play it on turn 3 maybe or something similar. So I can really utilize the buff and play him in a card that I know 100% of the opponent will play a card in that zone. We have Blade. Blade is used as a tech card to discard the card from our hand. And we'll go back to Blade a little bit later at the end. Angela, of course, she's the MVP of these zoo decks because she can get buffed up to 9 if we do the combo with a Nightcrawler. So basically, you save a free zone at the beginning for Angela, and then you play Angela and play Nightcrawler and the other cards. It really depends, like with what you want to combine Angela. Don't be greedy. You have a lot of mana, and I'll show you some tips. And then we have Bishop. Bishop can get buffed a lot because we have a lot. We're gonna play a lot on turn, 5 and 6, like 3 or 4 cards maybe. So Bishop can be buffed a lot. Swordmaster is a tech card here. Has a very big body here, 6, and it's used as a tech card to activate our strong guy. And then we have, of course, Ka-Zar, because we have a lot of 1 mana cards, and we have Ka-Zar to utilize them. And then we have Strong Eye, which is also a very powerful card, if played correctly, right? And then we have the last card is Blue Marble. So what's the deal here? Basically, if you draw Ka-Zar, Strong Eye in the early, or by turn 4 or by turn 5, it's gonna put you down the road to utilize the discards and really utilize the 6 powers. The most important thing in this deck is you need to save Blade and Sword Master for turn 6. So the only time you play Blade and Sword Master is on turn 6, because they can discard 2 cards and they can change a lot of things. But you don't need also to discard 2 cards, because 3 mana plus 1 is 4, and then you can play additional 2 ones. You can play additional these other cards if one of the ones is in your hand. Usually you can play 3 cards. So usually you play like 3 plus 1 and plus 1, and then Bishop gets also buffed 3 times, and Angela and stuff like that. But if you know that you're not going to do this combo on turn 6, because if Strong Eye didn't drop or something similar, you will go down the road and play Blue Marble to buff your cards, and then do different combinations. So the only trick here, the tech thing that you need to understand is that you will save Sword Master and Blade on turn 6. And as I said, sometimes Blade can be even more powerful for Ant-Man. So usually I do combos. For example, sometimes I play Angela and Bishop onto a zone, and then I know that both of them are going to be buffed at the end of the zone, because I'm going to play also, Sword Master on that zone, and maybe Blade on that zone, or maybe Ant-Man on that zone. Or, play Angela, and then play Nightcrawler, then play Bishop, then you move Nightcrawler, and you do combos like that. It's a very, very powerful deck once you get a hang of it, and really try, to control zones. And the best tip that I got in this game is you need to play it with the poker mindset. So you need to fold, you need to retreat as soon as at the beginning of the match you know that you're not going to do your combos, you're going to lose, something is not in your favor. Just don't lose your cubes, retreat, fold the game, and the games are quick, and that's it. So this was the best tip of the game. So play it like a poker game, fold when you're sure, and just continue and snap around 4 or 5 for the best. So if you like this, of course, subscribe, like, and give me comments and tell me how and is this working for you. Cheers. Bye bye.